Hello viewer, I'm Father Lokk. Please subscribe and enjoy the programs.
The air hung heavy, thick with anticipation. Father Brofini, a veteran of countless spiritual wars, prepared for battle. His adversary, a demon. Its name, Nooni. Its victim, young Molly. He clutched his crucifix, a beacon in the approaching darkness. This was no ordinary exorcism. This was a fight for Molly's soul. The room was a sanctuary, now a battleground. Latin inscriptions lined the walls, ancient wards against the evil he was about to face. He could feel it, a presence, cold, hungry. He steeled himself, reciting a silent prayer. His heart pounded against his ribs, a drumbeat to war. This was it, the final confrontation. Molly thrashed violently on the bed, her limbs flailing uncontrollably as if trying to escape an invisible force. Violent tremors racked her frail body, each convulsion more intense than the last, as if her very essence was being torn apart. Her eyes, usually bright and full of life, were now vacant, staring into nothingness, devoid of any spark of humanity. They had turned into black pits, reflecting an abyss of evil that seemed to consume everything around her. The demon Nooni was resisting fiercely. She wanted to stay, to hold on to Molly's body and soul. Nooni wanted to consume Molly's soul, to make it her own, and she was not going to let go without a fight. Father Brofini, with a determined look on his face, began the ritual, holding the exorcism book tightly in his hands. His voice, strong and steady, cut through the oppressive atmosphere, each word a weapon against the darkness. Latin words, ancient and powerful, filled the air. The room grew colder, the temperature dropping with each incantation. A low growl emanated from the possessed girl, a guttural sound that seemed to challenge the priest. The battle had truly begun. Molly's screams echoed in the silence, a haunting sound that reverberated through the room, amplifying the tension. Her body contorted at unnatural angles, bending in ways that seemed impossible, as if defying the very laws of nature. The demon was fighting back with all its might, an intense battle of possession that tested the limits of both Molly and the priest. Fear, primal and raw, threatened to consume Father Brofini. He could feel it creeping in, but he pushed it down, refusing to let it take hold. Fear was a tool for the demon, a weapon to weaken the resolve of those who opposed it. But Father Brofini would not give it that satisfaction. He stood strong, his faith unwavering, determined to save Molly and banish the demon once and for all. The room became a whirlwind of supernatural fury. Objects flew across the room, propelled by an unseen force. The crucifix on the wall rattled violently. The air crackled with energy. The demon was putting on a show of force, trying to intimidate. Father Brofini stood firm, his faith, his shield. The demon's voice, a grotesque parody of Molly's, filled the room. It taunted him, threatened him. He would not yield. He continued the exorcism, his voice unwavering. A cold, putrid breath washed over him, the stench of decay. He fought back the urge to recoil. The demon was trying to break him. He gripped the crucifix tighter, his knuckles white. He would not break. He would not falter. Section 4. A priest's resolve. He poured every ounce of his faith, his will, into the ancient words, each syllable a testament to his unwavering belief. The room pulsed with energy, good versus evil, light against darkness. The air was thick with tension, every flicker of the lights a reminder of the stakes. The battle raged. He saw flickers of Molly, her true self, trapped. Her eyes pleaded for salvation, a silent cry for help that pierced his soul. He had to save her. He felt a surge of power. The crucifix grew warm in his hand, a tangible sign of divine intervention, a beacon of hope. He pressed on, his voice gaining strength with every syllable. Each word was a hammer blow against the darkness, a rallying cry for the light. The demon shrieked, a sound of pure rage and agony. Its form twisted and contorted, unable to withstand the priest's fervor. The shadows in the room seemed to shrink back, repelled by the growing light. The darkness was losing its grip, retreating inch by inch. Doubt crept in. Insidious whispers in the back of his mind. They questioned his resolve, his strength, his very faith. Was he strong enough? Could he save her? The questions gnawed at him, threatening to break his concentration. He banished the doubt. He had to believe. For Molly. For himself. With renewed determination, he tightened his grip on the crucifix, ready to face whatever came next. The climax hit with the force of a physical blow. Molly's eyes locked onto his, a silent battle of wills unfolding in that instant. For a moment he saw pure hatred, the raw, unadulterated malice of the demon Noonie. It was a gaze that could pierce through the bravest of souls, a look that promised nothing but torment and despair. Then a flicker, recognition, fear. He pressed his advantage, sensing the demon's momentary lapse. It was now or never. Poured all his strength into his voice. "Exorcizote!" he roared, his voice echoing in the small room. The words reverberated off the walls, each syllable a hammer blow against the demon's presence. Noonie shrieked in response, a horrifying sound that seemed to tear at the very fabric of reality. It was a scream that could curdle blood, a sound that echoed the depths of hell itself. The air crackled with energy. The room plunged into an unbearable cold. Frost formed on the windows and their breaths turned to mist, hanging in the air like ghostly apparitions. He held his ground. Suddenly, silence. The room was still. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, leaving behind an eerie stillness that felt almost surreal. The air was clear. The only sound was Molly's ragged breathing, each breath a testament to the ordeal they had just endured. He looked down at her. Her eyes, their normal bright blue, blinked open. The demonic presence was gone, replaced by the familiar warmth he knew so well. Confusion, then relief. It was over. He had won. The battle was fierce, but the victory was theirs. The room, once a battleground, now felt like a sanctuary. Sweet Molly was Sweet Molly again, and the demon Noonie was gone. All safety and peace within their home and family was restored. Thank you all for watching the final conclusion and victorious end to Molly's story in this episode of Father Lokk's Horror House. Welcome to the family, all new subscribers. It's an honor to call you a Lokk. Please subscribe and hit your notification bell if you haven't already. Be safe out there. And in the words of Father Lokk, always remember and always know that he loved y'all. Bye, family.